Hello everyone. So today we'll be looking at how to create custom integrations and also how to create custom triggers, custom actions on monday.com. Okay, so let's just create a new board here. We'll name it Scrum Details. Okay. Right, so as a template here we have some items, we have some person assigned, and we have some statuses, some dates. We can just remove this one, we don't need it. All right, so now that we have our board in place, let's go create an application, because all our Monday developments, that are the integrations or the widgets, they are all housed in our applications. So we'll go to the manage page, here the developer center, and we'll create a app. Now we can name it custom integration. Let's just name it Vasu. All right, so now we can have a feature here. We'll create a feature, we'll create an integration, and this will be a workflow. All right, so now you can also create it from scratch, and you can also start from a NodeJS quick start integration. So this comes with a lot of boilerplate code that is already in place, so you need not worry about it. Also, we need the board read access, so we'll add the missing scopes. Now this gives you a URL. This URL, when you will run it in a command prompt or a terminal, this will create a Node.js directory for you, a pre-made server which you can just start and keep and start using. So we'll copy this and we'll go to the command prompt and we'll run this. So this will also start our server. All right, so now you can see that there is a tunnel link here. Now what this tunnel does is it allows the web to hit our server and creates a direct access to it. Otherwise, without this, you would have to use ngrok, or you would have to host your server at some place so that the Monday integration can use it. So now we'll just create this. We'll paste that link here, tunnel link here. Right, now for a new feature, we'll just name it hit server. All right, this is the base URL. Great. Okay, we now we'll go to the workflow blocks. Now before we move on to creating the action, we'll just define a sample problem. So our integration problem is that whenever status changes, we need to hit our server and we need to perform some actions there. Okay, like those actions can be anything. Those actions can be a DB entry, those actions can be a separate call to the Monday API GraphQL or something else, but we just need to do it whenever this status changes. Okay, this can change to stuck, done. Actually, let's just create a new label. We'll name it created. All right, so this item can be created. Okay, now when we have a sample problem defined, we'll go to the workflow blocks. So now here this is already made, so we'll remove this, we don't need it. And like same with the recipe, this is already there, we don't need it as of now. Okay, so basically there are two things, there is an action and there is a trigger. So the trigger is this, the changing of the status, and action is something we can define. Okay, our custom action. So how will we know what items are being sent to our action? So for that you need to just Google monday.com inbuilt triggers. All right, so this will give you a built-in triggers page where you can just search for your trigger. So for our problem, the trigger is changing of a status. So the status changes, okay, right here. So now we can get these output fields. So now these fields will be emitted from the Monday trigger, okay, and we can get these in our server or at our action. So for demonstration purposes, let's just create a new workflow block, a new action. We'll name it hit server, and for fields, let's just go with the item, and the source of this item will be the trigger output. This can also be a recipe sentence. So in the recipe, you can define a user specified field, and that will also be sent, but for now we don't have it, so we'll use the trigger output. Well done. Now the sentence can be then hit server. So this will be a part of the recipe only. For API endpoint, now's a good time to just go to our application. So we'll do code, sorry, go to the code, quick start on integrations, and we will tinker around a little. So we'll go to the src, we'll go to the routes, right? So in the index.js, you can see that we have some get endpoints, which is just to check the health of the application, but we can also define our custom, so it can be a route router.post, right? And we can name it hit server. This will take a callback regress. Awesome so far. Now for a demonstration, let's just do that. Let's just say that we need to console our rug.body. Console done, and for response we'll just send status 200. Awesome. Now we'll just start the server. And again, you can see that we have the tunnel that we have already specified there. Now this hit server, you need to paste this in the URL that you will be targeting. Okay, so whenever that action that trigger happens, the action will hit this endpoint, and using this base URL. So for recipe, let's just create one. We'll choose the trigger as status changes, and our action will be this custom action that we have created, the hit server. Okay, the item ID, you can specify item ID. Alright, we'll just create the server. Alright, we did not install this application. So what we can do is, we can first of all publish this feature, and we can install app. Right, so new app. Let's just also name this application. Okay, so this logged in. Right, we'll go to the integrations, board integrations. We'll add one, and we'll name it, this new feature is there. Okay, so now we can just select our status, add to the board. Great. So now this integration is on our board. We have the server running, and also the integration is in place. So we'll just go ahead and maybe change the status here, stuck. Right, great. Now you can see that in our server we get this payload. This gives us the item ID, the input fields, integration ID as well. And if you ever want to check what's happening to your integration, you can just see the activity log. So the activity log gives you a plethora of details, like which item was fired and at what time, date, time, and all of these things. So this was a simple demonstration on how to create a custom integration, how to manage the app versions, how to install, and what are the built-in triggers and built-in actions.